How you doing? I'm going to do this video today, give a little perspective on my life. God has given my wife and I two dreams in the last couple months. Obviously, both dreams came to me, but they applied to my wife as well. The first dream, I'm not going to get into the content, but they're private. They're for my wife and I. They're just based on our lives. It's not prophecy for the church. Basically, the first dream showed me what's coming, and the second dream confirmed it, but showed it in a way that was very positive toward me and my wife. The first dream was it wasn't negative, but it wasn't good. And the second dream was good, and it was positive, and it was total confirmation. At this time, I'm no longer going to do YouTube videos. My decision is based on the dream, the second dream that God gave me about 3 days ago. The dream was very clear, the interpretation very clear. There's times where we as ministers, we do God's work, and there's times where God will pour into us. And then there's times where we take what God has poured into us and we pour into others. We edify the church. I began my ministry via my website. And from the time I started my website to the time right now where I'm finishing on YouTube, there's been seasons where God has poured into me and I haven't done anything. There's been seasons where I've ministered via my website, via the books I've written, and then also via YouTube. And so this season is coming to a close. And God has showed it very clearly in the dream that it's come to a close. And it's my job to be obedient to God and to do His will. And it's very clear to me that if I stay on YouTube, I'm taking a risk, and I don't want to take that risk. So I'm making the choice for my wife and myself to get along with God, allow God to really build us up, allow God to do everything He showed me He's going to do in the dream, and just allow Him to do that in both of us. So when the time comes, we're refreshed, we're strong, we're right where we need to be, and we're in such a good place with God spiritually that at that moment, whatever is His will for us, and it's good because I've already seen it, whatever His will is for us, that it's going to be, we're going to be in a perfect position to go forward. And so basically, at the end of the day, it's a time for God to pour into me, and also for my wife to be next to me, and for us both to inherit what God has for us on this earth. And it's a hard decision. I've always appreciated YouTube. I think God has used YouTube. He's used the videos I put out there. I do believe He's going to use them a lot more in the future, as long as my channel doesn't get taken down, or as long as I don't take it down, which I don't foresee me doing. God's going to use my videos in the future. When things get harder, people are going to look for the real. They're going to look for what's true. And that's when my channel will get probably popular. But I probably will not, in fact, I will not be doing videos. So at the end of the day, I really have to, I've always prospered spiritually, not physically, but I've always prospered spiritually because I've obeyed the Lord. And there's no way I'm going to stray from that now. I'm going to obey the Lord, and I'm going to do what God has called me to do. And it's pretty clear to me it's time to get along with the Lord, have Him pour into me. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you about the dream, but God gave me a prophecy back in 2003. I fear God, and I'm only sharing this now because I want my whole YouTube experience, I want it to be a testimony and like a journal. I want people to watch my videos 5 years from now and be like, oh, that's what God did, okay? But back in 2003, God gave me a prophecy where He said He was going to make my name great. Okay, He was going to make my name great. He then confirmed it 2 years later in another prophecy. The thing about it is, in the first prophecy where He said He was going to make my name great, He also gave me information on my future wife. I wasn't married. I was a good 3 years from meeting my wife. I'm now married. I met my wife. Everything happened exactly how God said it was going to happen. The accuracy is dumbfounding. Okay? So I know it's going to happen. God is going to make my name great. And the dream He gave me 3 days ago is confirmation again. He's going to make my name great. So I give God all the glory. I know why He's doing it, because I'm real. I don't think that I'm great, and I don't think that there's any, this is a quote I came up with. You might want to chew on it. I don't believe in great men. I believe in great beliefs. I believe in great actions. I believe in doing the right thing. I believe that's great. I don't believe men are great. And I'm not trying to play games with God because God says that I'll make your name great. But I always see things the way I see them. and the way God has taught me. And even if God in the future makes my name great, because he will, he's going to do it, I will not see myself as great. I will see myself as one who obeyed God, who feared God regarding the truth, who feared his call on my life, who obeyed him when nobody else really did, when no one else really humbled themselves. I was in a place where he was disciplining me fiercely, and I was faithful at the end of the day. Well done, good and faithful servant. That's it. If God wants to make my name great, so be it. If God wants to open doors, so be it. But I don't see life like that. And that's probably why he said he's going to make my name great, because my perspective is correct. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's coming, and like I said, the dream God gave me 3 days ago is just absolute confirmation that it's coming. And he even gave me a little piece. I'm not going to share it, but it's based on the work I've already done. So I'm really happy about everything. I'm a little sad I'm not going to be doing videos anymore. But, you know, I've already gone through this once. I did YouTube, or excuse me, I did my website, and then God told me to stop. He's like, stop, you're done. I'm like, well, I got a lot more revelation, and God's like, stop, you're done. I'm like, okay. Then, to my surprise, around 2 or 3 years later, I was doing YouTube videos, and all the revelation I was going to put in my Bible interpretations on my website, they became YouTube videos. So God's going to continue to work. And whatever avenue he opens up in the future, I know he's going to be faithful, and it's going to work, and it's going to be a good avenue. And like I said, I don't exactly know what the avenue is, but I believe God for whatever his will is, whatever he wants to do. If he wants to use my website, use it. He wants to use YouTube, use it. Wants to use something else, use it. Okay? I'm for something else. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time to have different avenues. But like I said, it's not going to really happen, in my opinion, until the church starts suffering and judgment comes to the house of God. God's true ministers are not really going to come to the forefront until Christ's church starts clamoring for them. And most people are too comfortable for that. But the time will come that they will clamor. And the book of Daniel is very clear. Those who do know their God will be strong and do exploits. And that is going to be me. So all I can say is I give God all the glory. I've already said a prayer. I was going to pray during this video, but I felt led of God to pray before I did the video, and I already did that. And I'm very happy about how everything came down. My wife is very happy. We're in a good place right now. We're in a strong place right now. And everything going forward is going to be positive. It's all going to end up positive, and it's all going to be positive. Not that hard times won't come, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's really what the dream God gave me 3 days ago. It really did that for me. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and God's already shown it to me. He gave me a little piece. So it kind of puts the prophecies in perspective. It makes them stronger, and it gives me a lot more faith to stand in them. And that's what I needed, because I've waited a long time. It's been 18 years. So I give God all the glory. I just pray that God continues to use YouTube, continues to humble people to watch the right videos, to watch the right ministers, so that they can truly be edified and built up, and not noise and not junk. But I'm talking true spiritual edification, so that they can be built up as spiritual men and women. And that's really my prayer. That's why I did YouTube, so people could have good ammunition to move forward. And I've done that. I've succeeded in doing that. This video is going to be number 126. And I'm a firm believer that in my life God has used the number 42. The number 42 is a holy number. Jesus ministered for 42 months. The 2 witnesses are going to prophesy for 42 months. Number 42 is a blessed, good number. Okay, the Antichrist is, a counterfeit. He's going to take it and use it. But make no mistake about it. Jesus 42, the 2 witnesses 42. It's a blessed number. And this video is number 126, and that's 42 3 times. And my Bible interpretations are exactly 42. And God told me to stop. And I had no clue. And just in case you're interested, when God first called me to do YouTube, I did 42 videos. And then I stopped for 8 months. I just stopped because I felt like God was saying stop. And during that 8 months, I said, hey, God, why does the number 42 keep happening? It happened with the interpretations. It's now happening with YouTube. I do 42, I stop. And God's like, you want confirmation? I said, yeah. He goes, go count how many days it took you to do those 42 videos. So I went back and I counted the days exactly. To the hour, it was 42 days. So this is all happening. Everything that God has done in my life, it's all pre-planned, pre-scheduled. All I have to do is walk in it and obey. And God will prosper me, and he'll also prosper you. If you humble yourself and you allow God to be your Lord, and you fear him, and you do his will no matter what the cost, then he will prosper you. But it will not be easy. But God is faithful to reveal via dreams, via visions, and even via other ministers what his plans are, so that you can be encouraged and strengthened and edified. God bless you.